Good evening and welcome to the 1983 homecoming game where the Elkhorn Elks are entertaining the Milton Redmen. Milton comes in here with an overall record of 4-1. They're 2-1 in conference play. Their wins non-conference over Clinton 42-8 and Stoughton 12-7. Their only loss so far was to Delavan Darien 14-7. They've beaten now East Troy 12-6 and Badger 20-14. On offense, Milton averages 265 yards a game. They have an excellent running attack. So the Elks are going to be tested again just as they were last week against Waterford. Milton gained over 300 yards on the ground against East Troy. For Milton on the offense, Todd Schlem will be at quarterback, Rod Kuderna at running back, Rick Calhoun, and Dennis Campion, the offensive ends. They run, and every once in a while Campion will throw a pass. That's something to watch. Last year, Elkhorn won the game 19-6 over a heavily favored Milton team. Milton again favored this year. Their only loss, as we said, was to Delavan Darien. Looking at the Southern Lakes standings right now, we have in the West, it's Delavan and Whitewater on top 3-0. Both of those teams undefeated, although one of those teams will lose tonight as Whitewater is playing at Delavan. Milton coming in just a game back at 2-1. East Troy and Jefferson both at 1-2, and Elkhorn in 6th place at 0-3. Over in the East, it's Burlington on top all by themselves at 3-0. Union Grove and Waterford at 2-1. Badger at 1-2, and Salem and Wilmot both at 0-3. And we'll be back with the kickoff and the starting line. Welcome back. We're getting set for the kickoff. Looks like Milton will be receiving tonight. Elkhorn 0-3 in conference play. Wants to get a win. Last week it was turnovers and penalties beating the Elks. Once again they lost 30-6 to Waterford. One touchdown called back on a penalty. Another the Elks scored with only 15 seconds to play. Besides the Elks lost last week, it was Milton 20, Burlington 14, Whitewater over Salem 29-10, Burlington 13, East Troy nothing. Jefferson 7, Union Grove 6, Delavan 21, Wilmot 8. I believe I said Milton beating Burlington. They beat Badger last week 20-14. And we're waiting the kick. Back there to receive it is Campion, number 8. I believe that's also number 24 back there, Mike Platts. As we get set, number 57 to do the kicking for Elkhorn, Mike Sachs.
Number 51.
We're almost ready to go here at the 1983 homecoming game. And Sachs' kick. It's going to be taken over on the far sideline about the 10, and it looks like we're going to have a reverse. Nope. It's going to be number 24 holding the ball. He's out to the 20, and he coughs up the ball. And I believe Milton recovered. We'll wait and see. And they say it's Milton's ball, 1st and 10 for the Milton Redmen.
Little over pursuit that time on the fake reverse by Elkhorn. They did come up to make the play and almost caught a break by the fumble.
Call it the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 for Milton. We have Todd Schlem at quarterback. In the backfield, that's Kuderna, Rod, and Greg. And the give to the first back through. Trying to pick up the number on the far sideline. He got about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Called a pickup of about 4 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 6.
Good surge by the Milton offensive line that time. They have a big line. They're a big play team. They run and pass about the same. Elkhorn must stop the run, most important.
Number 30, Rod Kuderna with the carry that time. And the give this time to, I believe, number 33, Greg Kuderna. And he picks up a little bit of yards, not enough for the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 2 yards to go for the Milton Redmen.
Good play by that time by number 57, Mike Sachs, at his inside linebacker position. He fought off his blocker and filled the hole and made the tackle.
3rd down and short yardage situation for Milton. Here's the quarterback, Schlem, keeping, and he tried to pitch. He couldn't get it. He got across the 30. Wait and see where they spot the ball. And Elkhorn, looks like Elkhorn has held them. They're going to be short of the first down, just across the 30-yard line.
Well, a big play on defense for Elkhorn that time. That's going to give them a little momentum. Mike Sachs playing early here, excellent on defense.
Going back is Larry Reese, Chris McClernand, and Jack Barron to receive this kick. Trying to pick up the punter's number. I believe that's number 32, Rod Wilson. He gets off a high kick. Larry Reese is going to take it at about his 37. He's to the 40. Trying to go around field. He gets to the 45, across the 50 to about the 46-yard line. And we have a penalty flag on the play.
Well, Elkhorn starting out, if this is a penalty on them, they're starting out the same way they have the last 3 games with penalties, and they haven't been able to move the ball effectively on offense because of the penalties they've had, and it's going to be personal foul clipping against Elkhorn.
I was just about to say that looked like it was in the area where it would be called clipping. They're going to mark it off from the 48-yard line, and the Elks would have had excellent field position, but they're going to get moved back now. No score in the game. Elkhorn's defense held Milton on their first possession. Penalty was after the penalty, or the penalty was after the punt, so Elkhorn will keep possession, but they're going to be marked back 15 yards, and they'll spot the ball at about the 33-yard line, so Elkhorn, instead of starting into Milton territory across the 50, are going to start instead at their own 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Elks from there. We have under 10 minutes to play, 9:55 clock running in the first period. Steve Althouse, the quarterback. We have Trapp and McClernand in the backfield, also back there, number 20, Jack Barron. Here's Althouse on the give to the second back through. McClernand, the carrier, he got across the 40 to about the 43-yard line.
McClernand that time running off tackle for about 3 yards. Elkhorn, they're going to be outmatched on that offensive line, so they're going to have to use their quickness to their advantage.
All right, excuse me, not across the 40, across the 35 to about the 38, called second down and about 6 yards to go. Steve Althouse, the quarterback for Elkhorn. And Althouse keeping. Althouse turns it upfield. We have a penalty flag thrown. Althouse got close to the first down. He might have it. We'll have to see what that penalty flag is, though.
Checking out the penalty flag. It was a good play for Elkhorn that time. Althouse keeping it on the run, and it's holding against Elkhorn, so it's just going to back him up again. Again, Elkhorn making silly mistakes early here.
It looked like Althouse would have had enough for the first down, but the penalty flag thrown at about the 39-yard line, holding against the Elks, is going to march some more yardage off against them. And that time it looked like the play occurred on the opposite side of the field. That player probably wouldn't have had to hold, and Althouse did make a good gain of about 5 or 6 yards on that play, but instead it goes for nothing. Elkhorn being marched way back. Try to pick up the yard line here where they're going to be about the 22-yard line for Elkhorn, called the 23. And that's going to give them second down, about 20 yards to go.
Initially on this drive, Elkhorn was to start out at the 48. They backed themselves up to the 22. They have a long way to go to the first down. They cannot win the game doing this.
Althouse, and we have a penalty. It might be motion. We'll have to wait and see. They stopped the play. Milton people think it's going against Elkhorn. We'll wait and see what... Yes, it looks like it's going to be a few more yards marched off against the Elks. The Elks already with 2 penalties for 30 yards. And no, it's going to be offsides against Milton. So Elkhorn, I would think, would want to take the penalty here, pick up 5 yards on the play. And instead of 2nd and 20, they'll have a 2nd and 15. Still not the best situation to be in.
Well, the game has started out earlier with a few penalties. Elkhorn getting a break there on the offsides. Could have been called motion on Elkhorn. They still have a long way to go for the first down.
Call it the Elkhorn 28-yard line. Second down, about 15 yards to go. Steve Althouse, the quarterback. Jack Barron flanked to the far side. Althouse, he's rolling out to pass. Althouse throws it downfield. It's going to go... Was it? It was intercepted at the 40-yard line. Milton will take over, and the turnover is hurting the Elks once again.
Another pass that time by Steve Althouse that should not have been thrown. He's been doing that a lot lately. Threw the ball into the crowd. A lot of Milton players around the ball, and as a result, it was intercepted.
If anything, that time Althouse should have thrown it out of bounds if he didn't have a receiver open. Instead, Milton, excellent field position. They'll start at the Elkhorn 40-yard line. Last time Milton had the ball after the kickoff, they were not able to gain a first down. Number 7, Schlem, the quarterback. In the backfield, we have Rod and Greg Kuderna. He's the give to the first man through, and he doesn't get very much yardage at all. Try to pick up the number. That was number 30 that time, Rod Kuderna, the ball carrier. He got maybe a half a yard on the play. Tim Lindemann with the stop for Elkhorn. Call it second down, about 10 to go.
Elkhorn that time did a good job on defense. Their defense seems to be picking well against that strong Milton offense.
Here's Schlem. He's going to pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Number 82, Rick Calhoun, had it. Lost the ball. Number 58, Longhorn. David Longhorn right there for the Elks. Incomplete. Third down now for Milton.
Good play that time by number 58, Dave Longhorn. He waited until the ball was thrown, came up and did the proper thing and knocked the ball down. Good play.
Well, the offense has been plagued by penalties. The defense playing exceptionally here. Third down and Almost 10 yards to go for Milton. Schlem at the quarterback. Schlem back to pass. He drops straight back, and it's going to be complete. And he's going to be pulled down. A fumble, loose ball. They call it down though. Number 30, Rod Kuderna, with the reception. He picked up about 5 yards on the play. Number 57, Mike Sachs, right there for Elkhorn. 4th down now for Milton.
Mike Sachs seems to be a menace against the Milton offense so far. He's made 3 excellent tackles, that time making an arm tackle while diving. Good play.
4th and 5, and it looks like they're going to go for it from about the Elkhorn 36-yard line, not quite the 35. Elk's defense needs to get tough here. Here's Schlem back to pass, and he's going to get the pass away, and it's going to be incomplete. Number 20, Jack Barron knocked that ball away. Elkhorn will take over on downs, 1st and 10 at about their own 35 or 36-yard line.
Well, Elkhorn's defense has done excellent against that powerful Milton offense so far, holding on 4th down that time. If they can hold them down the way they have been, they can easily win this game.
7 plays, and Milton has gained about 13 yards so far on offense. Elkhorn, though, plagued by penalties on offense. Reese and Barron both going out to the far side. Steve Altos, the quarterback. Here's a give to Trapp, the first man through. Trapp fumbles, and it's going to be recovered by Milton at the 48-yard line. Trapp fumbled it. There was an Elkhorn player there, but he was faced the other way. He couldn't do it. Couldn't recover it. Number 51, Weitzel on the recovery. Elkhorn with the 2nd turnover of the night at the 48-yard line. Milton will start again.
All year, Elkhorn getting the ball back, and they give it right back. Mistake that time. Elkhorn ball carriers having trouble keeping it, hang on to that ball this year. Can't see why. Must be psychological.
Here's Schlem. He pitches to number 33, and he's going to get nothing. He's going to lose a couple of yards.
Ball carrier number 33, Greg Kadruna. Tackled by number...
Loss of about 2 yards on the play. That was Greg Kuderna. Elkhorn's defense once again rises to the occasion. Call it 2nd down and about 12 yards to go. One problem the Elks have, if they keep turning that ball over, sooner or later that potent Milton offense is going to get the ball in the end zone.
Elkhorn's defense certainly showing a lot of spirit. Has a lot to do with stopping this tough Milton team. If they can keep it going and stop those turnovers, they could win this game.
2nd down and 12. We have a little bit of motion on the play. The offense getting lined up, trying to get into their positions. Schlem, the quarterback, and it looks like we're going to have a delay of game penalty. That's what it's going to be. 5 more yards against Milton, so now the penalty is affecting the Milton Redmen.
Both teams seem to be a little sluggish early in the game. Penalties have marred this first quarter, sloppily played.
5 yards marched off, is going to move the ball back to the Milton 45-yard line, called 2nd down now, 17 yards to go. We have 6:09 to play in the first period. Elkhorn's defense so far has been the story as they've held Milton to no first downs. Schlem at quarterback. Schlem this time drops back to pass, and he's going to get it away. It's going to be complete. Number 30, that's Rod Kuderna, and he gets down to about the 22-yard line, and it's going to be enough for a 1st down for Milton. That's the first down of the game for the Milton Redmen.
We saw that type of play last week against Waterford where the Elkhorn player dived a little early and the player went around him. Just a mistake on the Elkhorn's part of defense. Their first one tonight, though.
Spotted at the 21, 1st and 10 for Milton. We have Greg and Rod Kuderna in the backfield. At quarterback is number 7, Todd Schlem. Here's Schlem with the pitch. That is, trying to pick up the number, which the Kuderna brothers. Number 33, that's Greg Kuderna. And Kuderna gets good yardage, picked up about 6 or 7 yards on the play, called 2nd down, about 3 yards to go.
Big hole that time for Kuderna. The first hole that Milton has opened up for their ball carriers, so Elkhorn's defense playing well here in the first quarter.
From the 14, call it 2nd down and 3 yards to go for Milton. And here's the pitch to number 30, Rod Kuderna. He breaks by one man, but not the next. In there for the tackle for Elkhorn, number 82, Kelly Truesdale there. Going to be a loss of yardage on the play, bringing up 3rd down.
Flag down on the play that time. Might be holding against Milton. We'll have to wait and see. Kelly Truesdale making a good arm tackle on the Milton ball carrier that time. I'll have to see what the referee's going to call it. Looks like it's going to be against Milton. And it looks like it was holding. That'll back him up 15 yards.
Okay, I would think Elkhorn would want the penalty, although it will give Milton an extra down. It will move them back 15 yards, so instead of being about the 14, that'll put them at the 29, where you'd have about 2nd down and 18, or you could have it 3rd down and about 6 from the 15, and I'd rather have them back at about the 29.
Yeah, that's good strategy by Elkhorn that time. Now they have more room to work with to cover the backs for Milton. Let's see if Elkhorn, this is a big play for Elkhorn here. If they can stop and get the ball back, move that ball on offense and stop the turnovers.
All right, call it the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down, 19 yards to go for Milton. Here's Schlem. He's back to pass. He gets the ball away. He's going. It's going to be overthrown, incomplete. The closest person was number 20, Jack Barron. Jack couldn't quite come up with it that time. Schlem threw it away. That's what Steve Althouse should have done on the far sidelines a few plays ago.
Calhoun that time didn't start running for the ball. Nice lead that time by the quarterback. Schlem did a good job leading, but the 82, the receiver, didn't start for the ball quick enough.
3rd down, about 19 to go now. Elkhorn's defense being helped this time by a holding penalty against Milton. We've had penalties against both teams in the early going. You'd almost have to expect a pass play here. Schlem, the quarterback, and Schlem going back to pass. He's going to have to get it away. He does, and it's going to bounce incomplete in there. Ken Trapp on the defense, putting on a lot of pressure for Elkhorn. 4th down now for Milton.
Ken Trapp that time getting right in the face of the quarterback. As a result, he had to pass it quick that time. Elkhorn's defense playing excellent here in the first quarter. Too bad their offense can't get on track.
And it looks from here that Milton is going to go for it. Ball resting right about the 30-yard line. They got to get just a little ways past the 11. 4th down, about 19 yards to go. Both the Kuderna brothers in the backfield. Schlem at quarterback. They have one receiver split to the far side of the field. Schlem back to pass, and he gets the ball away. It's going to be incomplete through the hands of the receiver. On defense for Elkhorn, number 34, I believe it was. Looked like Dave Mann there on the stop.
So Elkhorn stops them again. Let's see if that offense can get them going.
Call it the 30-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. 1st and 10. Elkhorn's offense so far has yielded only 1 first down on 3 successive drives by the Milton Redmen. We're in the first period. Steve Althouse at quarterback. 4:45 to play, and we're going to have a flag on the play. Play doesn't even get off, and it's going to be against Elkhorn. That's going to cost them 5 yards.
So Elkhorn not starting out well on offense again. They made numerous penalties. They're just hurting themselves, putting them in terrible field position.
Both teams now being hurt by penalties. And let's see, they're going to march off 5 yards against Elkhorn. Call it 1st and 15. They move the ball back to the Elkhorn 25-yard line. And every time the Elks seem to do something right, that time the defense stopping Milton, the offense, with either a penalty over turnover. 2 offensive drives so far, 2 turnovers. This is the 3rd time the offense has had the ball. Steve Althouse, the quarterback, and it's a give to Jack Barron. Barron gets across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Good pickup for Jack Barron on that play, about 6 or 7 yards.
Barron that time showing his quick speed on that tackle trap. He ran past the Milton defense that time. Good play on offense. First good surge by Elkhorn.
2nd down, call it about 8 yards to go for Elkhorn, called about the 32-yard line. We have 2 receivers split to the near side. And Althouse gives a give up the middle. Not very much yardage that time, maybe a yard or 2 on the play. And that time the runner was trying to pick up Ken Trapp, number 36.
Elkhorn that time running the draw up the middle, not getting a lot of yards. That was the result of Milton's big defensive line. They got good size up there, and it's going to be tough to get through there.
3rd down and 7 now for Elkhorn. A big 3rd down play for the Elkhorn offense. They'd like to keep this drive alive. In the backfield, it's Trapp and McClernand. Here's Althouse, back to pass. Steve gets a pass away. It's going to be tipped, and it's going to be intercepted. Number 1, that's Storbakken. He's to the 40, to the 35, and pulled down at the 34-yard line. Milton gets their 3rd turnover of the day. That's the way Elkhorn has given up the ball every time, and a 1st down for Milton.
So Althouse throws his 2nd interception that night. Threw it a little bit behind the intended receiver that time, and as a result, it was tipped up into the air, and the Milton defender picked it off.
First and 10 at the 30 for Milton. Once again now Elkhorn with the turnover. That's 3 this game. Every time they've had the ball, they've turned it over now. Once again, penalties hurting. So far the defense, though, has held Milton. Here's a give to number 8, Campion, and Campion gets very little, maybe 2 yards on the play. Number 74, Wayne Rusty Brown, in on the start.
Again, number 57, Mike Saxon on the play. He's been all over the field, playing a good game so far for Elkhorn on defense.
Give him 2 yards on the play, second down and 8 for the Milton Redmen. Once again, Elkhorn's defense playing an excellent game in the early going so far in the first quarter. Number 24, Platt, split to the far side, second down and 8. And here's a give to number 33, that's Greg Kudurna. And he gets across the 25 to about the 24-yard line, where it's going to bring up a third down for Milton.
Elkhorn's defense again holding Milton's offense effectively. If they could just move the ball on offense, too many mistakes by Elkhorn on offense early in this quarter.
Call it the 25-yard line, third down and about 5. Once again, the defense playing tough. This is Milton's 4th possession. So far, they have just 1 first down. Known as a very strong offensive team. Schlem at quarterback. Schlem, he's going to roll out, looking to pass. He gets the pass away, and it's going to be incomplete, bringing up 4th down for Milton.
Both teams look ineffective early here in the first quarter on offense. Milton really hasn't done anything really effective except for that one pass play, and Elkhorn's defense looks great so far.
4th and 5 now. Once again, the Elkhorn defense holding. They've got to hold one more time here. 4th down for the Milton Redmen. Just over 2 minutes to play in the first period. No score from Elkhorn. It's homecoming. Here's Schlem, and he's going to throw it in. Throws it completed to 33, Greg Kuderna. And we'll have to wait and see where they spot that ball to see if the Milton Redmen have a first down.
Injured Elkhorn player that time. I can't pick up his number. Didn't look like they made the first down that time. I don't think they did. Good play for Elkhorn that time as they let him have the short pass and then make the hit before they got to the first down. They're going to call an official timeout. The injured player on the play was number 82, Kelly Truesdale, so he's walking off the field under his own power. Evidently, he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Pass complete to Kuderna for about 4 yards, but they needed 5. Elkhorn takes over 1st and 10 once again. The defense playing superbly here. Now let's see what the offense can do. So far, it's been 2 interceptions and a fumble. Here's Althaus. And it's going to be a pickup about 4 or 5 yards on the play, trying to pick up the number of the back over on the far side of the field. And it's going to be Chris McClernand, the ball carrier.
Chris McClernand that time running off tackle for about 5 yards. Elkhorn's offense opening up a nice hole for him that time.
They give him about 6 on the play. We have an official timeout called. Looks like either equipment or an injury. So we have someone limping off the field for the Milton Redmen. And looks like number 74, Roger Fanning, an defensive tackle. Fanning playing both ways, offense and defense. And the officials don't want him out there. Possible injury, don't want anything to get worse. The weather tonight, excellent for football. It's right around 60 degrees. We have a wind about 10 or 15 miles an hour. Not too hot, not too cold. And let's see what Elkhorn can do now. Call it 2nd down and 4 for the Elks. They're across the 25-yard line, called about the 27. Here's Althaus. Give to the second back, McClernand. McClernand gets across the 30 to about the 33, and it's going to be a first down for Elkhorn. Their first down of the game.
So Elkhorn picking up their first down of the game. And McClernand running nice. Same play basically that time. Elkhorn moving the ball well on that off-tackle play. If they can keep on the ground all night moving this ball, they can consume the time and score touchdowns all night off Milton.
Call it the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 Elkhorn. We have 1:03 to play in the first period, no score. Here's a give once again, McClernand. McClernand gets very little, maybe a yard or 2 on the play, not much more.
McClernand that time running the same play for the 3rd time in a row. Elkhorn not quite as successful that time, but they are being patient on offense, not trying for anything big too early.
Elkhorn now going to be faced with the 2nd down, about 8. Call it the 35-yard line. Not quite the 35, maybe we'll call it the 34. Steve Althaus at quarterback. The Elks have made their first down of the night late here in the first quarter. Let's hope they can sustain a drive now. Althouse on the handoff. It's going to be Jack Barron. Barron breaks one tackle, gets about 3 yards on the play, out to about the 38-yard line. Going to bring up a third down for the Elkhorn Elks.
Barron made a lot of those yards by himself that time. He went to the outside, saw that hole was plugged. He cut back to the inside and gained a few yards. A good play that time by Jack Barron.
Third down, about 5 to go for Elkhorn. And that's going to be the end of the first period with the score, Elkhorn 0 and Milton 0. Elkhorn, as we start the second quarter, faced with a 3rd and 5. Brian Schmieden and Randy Larson bringing you the play-by-play tonight. Steve Kopp on the camera. And here's the give, and it's going to be powering through under his own power. Pick up the number on that player. Once again,
Ball carrier number 36,
Ken Trapp, the ball carrier.
50, Jim Cumlian.
And it's going to bring up 4th down for Elkhorn. They're going to bring the yard markers out. Trapp getting that a lot by himself, going straight up the field. And we'll wait and see if they have it or not. First, I thought they were short. They're going to be short by about a foot and a half maybe. And let's see if Elkhorn's going to go for it. Looks like Steve Althouse going off field. So Coach Yankee not taking any chances. The ball at the Elkhorn 42-yard line. They're going to have Larry Reese kick it away.
The way the Elkhorn defense has been playing, I don't agree with his strategy at all. They only have a half a foot to go, but that's a call by Coach Yankee, and we got to stick with it.
Campion back. Now he's going back deeper. He's at about his 35-yard line. Going to wait for the snap to Larry Reese here. And a high snap. He comes down with it. He gets the kick away. It's going to hit about the 40. It's going to take a roll down to the 30, and about the 30-yard line is where Milton's going to start. 1st and 10.
Elkhorn running a formation that time where it looked like Reed was going to be a quarterback, possibly. They might have been looking for the Milton defensive setup, and if they thought they could get a first down against that setup, they would try it. But the high snap almost caused disaster for Elkhorn.
About the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 for Milton. They'll take over. We're just underway in the second period. No score. 11 and a half minutes to play before halftime. The 1983 Elkhorn homecoming game. Here's Schlem at the quarterback. And he inside handoff to number
Ball carrier number 30,
Rod Kuderna on the play.
Tackled by.
And Kuderna gets absolutely nothing on the play. Call it 2nd down and 10.
Elkhorn's defense, again, stopping Milton's offense all night. They've just got to keep awake for that big play. I think Milton's going to throw in here pretty soon.
Schlem, the quarterback, giving instructions to number 82, Calhoun. And here's the give to number 33. That's Greg Kuderna. And Mike Saxon going to stop maybe a yard on the play, not much more.
Mike Sachs that time in on the play again. He's playing the game of his life as a varsity player. Never seen him play this well. He's really fired up for this homecoming game.
Give him 2 yards on the last play. Call it 3rd down, about 8 yards to go. Elkhorn's defense once again playing exceptional tonight. Looks like it should be a passing down here. And it's going to be a draw play instead to Kuderna, and he gets a few yards, maybe 1 or 2, not much more. They didn't fool any of the Elks on that play.
Elkhorn's defense that time playing smart ball so far. They were not fooled by that attempted draw play. Good strategy for Milton. They possibly thought Elkhorn could be looking too much for the pass. Good play.
McClernand going back deep, also Barron and Reese for Elkhorn. And we're going to have an official timeout called. Some equipment problems down there. I think that's number 8, Campion, to do the punting. And now what are we going to have called? We're going to have a penalty against Milton. Offside is going to cost them 5 yards. So instead of kicking from about the 29-yard line, 30-yard line, they're going to be moved back to about the 24 or 25-yard line. And that's where they're going to have to kick that ball from.
Milton playing sloppy ball for such a good team. I think possibly Milton might be a little bit overrated coming into this game. Milton might be a little bit worse than everybody thinks.
Well, Milton is 4-1. A bad punt goes almost straight up in the air. It's going to hit about the 40, take a good Milton roll across the 50, down to about the Elkhorn 46-yard line. That ball went about 25 yards after it hit. Good roll for Milton, made that into a good punt, what started off bad, and Elkhorn will start from their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Bad break for Elkhorn that time, as that ball could have well been in Milton territory, but as it did, it took a Milton bounce. Elkhorn, well, here's their chance. They got to stop these turnovers and move the ball.
Best field position of the night for the Elks. We're in the second period. We have 9:24 to play. Steve Althaus brings his team up the line. No score so far. Got a receiver split to the near side. Here's Althaus back to pass, and he gets the ball away. It's intended for number 20, Barron. Barron completes it. He gets by one man, and Barron's going to be pulled down right around the 20-21 yard line. 1st down for Elkhorn.
The first big play that time by the Elkhorn offense. That time the defender on Barron was not looking, as Barron was turned around and he came back to the ball. Smart play by Barron that time. It's a mark of a good receiver when he comes back, as Althaus underthrew him just a little bit.
Call it 22-yard line. 1st and 10 for Elkhorn. Their best offensive drive so far of the game. Steve Althaus, the quarterback. Trapp and McClernand in the backfield. He's to give to McClernand. McClernand dives to about the 20-yard line, maybe the 19. Pickup of 2 or 3 on the play for Chris McClernand.
Elkhorn using Chris McClernand a lot more now after last week's good performance against Waterford. Running off tackle, that seems to be Coach Yankee's favorite play, using McClernand.
At the 20-yard line, 2nd down, about 7 or 8 yards to go for Elkhorn. Number 84, that's Kirby Peterson, and 20, Barron, split to the far side. Here's a give. Nope, Althaus keeps it. Now he's going to pitch to McClernand. McClernand gets across the 20, tries to make a cut, gets across the 15, and McClernand is going to be inside the 10-yard line with a 1st down for Elkhorn.
Good run that time by Chris McClernand. Excellent play by Steve Althaus that time in disguising the play for the pitch. The only player out there for Milton was number 71 on defense, and McClernand used his speed to outrun him.
From the 7, 1st and goal, Elkhorn. One of the best drives of the night and of the season for the Elks. Althaus, the quarterback. Gives going to be to McClernand again. McClernand gets maybe to the 5, if that. Not very much yardage on the play for Chris McClernand.
McClernand running off tackle that time. Was hit straight up by the Milton defense that time. Elkhorn may have to go to a pass. Milton's defense looks tough on the run, so these short runs may be hard to get against Milton.
Call it about the 5-yard line. 2nd down and goal for Elkhorn from there. Once again, it's Trapp and McClernand in the backfield. Althaus, the quarterback. Althaus, he's going to keep it himself. He pitches to McClernand. McClernand fumbles. He's got to fall on the ball, and he does. Elkhorn's going to lose about 3 or 4 yards on the play. Chris McClernand not happy that time as he fumbled the pitch, and it's going to be 3rd down and goal now for Elkhorn. Call it the 8-yard line.
If McClernand could have handled that pitch that time, he might have got in. It was close. Luckily, he did recover his own fumble, though.
3rd down and goal now for Elkhorn. About the 8-yard line for Elkhorn. Number 82, Kelly Truesdale, splitting off to the far side. Over there with him, Jack Barron. Here's Althaus, back to pass. He gets the pass away, and it's going to be incomplete. Goes over the official's head, and it brings up 4th down for Elkhorn.
Elkhorn that time, Althaus did the smart thing that time by throwing the ball out of bounds. There was no Elkhorn receiver open, so rather than risk an interception, he threw it out of bounds. Elkhorn looks like they're going to go for a field goal here.
Elkhorn about 8 yards away from the touchdown, instead getting to try for the 3 points, the field goal. And Tim Lindemann will be kicking it. We have 6:38 to play. Clock has stopped on the incomplete pass. We're in the second period, no score yet. Larry Reese to hold. Tim Lindemann, the official, watching his watch. Elkhorn might have a delay of game. They're going to have to hurry now. Waiting for the snap. The ball is down. The kick is up, and the kick, it's going to be no good. Way off to the side. Looked even a little bit short from up here. And Milton will take over. They'll get the ball 1st and 10 with 6:37 to go. We have no score.
Elkhorn driving again down there. A fine drive. Coming up empty. A tough break.
Okay, and they're going to spot the ball at the 20-yard line for Milton. 1st and 10 from there. Elkhorn, one of their best offensive drives. And it stalls the field goal by Tim Lindemann. Field goal attempt, no good. So Milton will take over on offense. Number 7, Todd Schlem, the quarterback. Rod and Greg Kuderna in the backfield. Here's a give to Greg Kuderna, and he gets maybe a yard or two on the play, not much more. Stopped up by the Elkhorn defense.
Tim Voss that time coming close to getting unnecessary roughness call that time as he threw the ball player down to the ground after the whistle had blown, but lucky the refs let it go for Elkhorn. Elkhorn again holding Milton all night on defense, playing great ball.
Called about 3 yards on the play, 2nd down and 7. And once again, this time the give to number 33, Greg Kuderna again, and he's going to be very close to a first down. We'll wait and see if they say he made the 30-yard line. Number 34, David Mann, and number 64, that's Tim Voss in on the stop. And they might have to measure. Yep, it's going to be a first down. They spot the ball across the 30-yard line.
Missed tackle that time by the Elkhorn defense, one of the few of the night they've had, allowed the Kuderna for Milton to get the first down.
First down for Milton. Rod and Greg Kuderna in the backfield. This time the give's going to be to Rod Kuderna, and he gets across the 30 to about the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. Pickup of 2 or 3 on the play, not too much yardage that time.
Elkhorn's defense holding him well again. It's important, Elkhorn, if defense, if they can keep giving the ball to the offense, eventually they will score.
From the 34-yard line, we'll call it 2nd down, about 6-7 yards to go. And the give to Rod Kuderna, and he gets out across the 40 to the 41. He's going to be very close to another first down for Milton.
This looks like it's going to be the best offensive surge on the ground this time for Milton as they pick up another first down.
2 consecutive first downs for Milton, called the 41-yard line, 1st and 10. Both times they've just barely made the first down. So give once again Rod Kuderna, and he gets out to the 45-yard line. Give him 4 yards on the play. They're just surging straight ahead. 2nd down, 6.
Number 64 and number 57, Mike Sachs and Tim Voss, that time in on the tackle, stopping the Milton ball carrier for about 5 yards. Looks like for Elkhorn's defense playing, as I said before, well early in this quarter.
Call it the 45-yard line, not quite, of Milton. And here's the give to Rod Kuderna. Once again, he gets across the 50 to the Elkhorn 47, and it's going to be another first down for Milton. They're just grinding it out on the ground now, straight ahead running.
Looks like Milton's running a simple tackle trap play, and it seems to be throwing Elkhorn off a little bit as they've been getting up more yards than usual.
Okay, they spot the ball to Elkhorn 48, 1st and 10. Todd Schlem, the quarterback. Schlem with the give once again to, I believe it was, trying to pick up which of the Kuderna brothers.
Tackled by number 64, Tim Voss.
Number 33 that time, I believe, Greg Kuderna, the carrier. And he picked up very little yardage on the play. No, number 30, Rod Kuderna, the ball carrier.
Tim Voss that time making a good play as he blew through the hole, opened up for the Milton runner and tackled.
Might have lost about a half a yard on the play. 2nd down, still called about 10 yards to go. Here's Schlem keeping it himself, and he's going to be upended for another loss of about a yard or two that time. Elkhorn's defense playing strong here.
Number 58 that time, Dave Longhorn, did a nice job in tackling the quarterback, Schlem, and Mike Sachs also is in on a play again.
3rd down, about 12 yards to go now for Milton. So 2 or 3 first downs in a row. Now the Elkhorn defense getting tough. Here's Schlem back to pass, and he's going to get the pass away. It's going to be overthrown, incomplete, intended for number 8, Dennis Campion. He overthrew everybody that time, and Milton's going to have to punt the ball away to Elkhorn.
Elkhorn's defense holding again. Milton's offense not playing well at all in the first half here. It really shows they're struggling on offense. They have no continuity, it looks like, so far.
Started a good drive that time, got 3 first downs, but that was all. They're stopped at the Elkhorn 49-yard line. Going back, it's going to be Reese, McClernand, and Barron for Elkhorn. Number 82, Rick Calhoun, to do the punting. 2:58 to play in the first half. We have no score. And a good snap. He's going to get the kick away. Fair catch called for by Barron. And let's see, that's about the 19-yard line. Called to 20. That's where Elkhorn's going to start. 1st and 10.
Elkhorn this time starting out with fair field position. Barron made a pretty good decision that time as he had a lot of Milton people in front of him. So just to be safe and stay away from that fumble, he called for a fair catch.
Elkhorn isn't going to have a lot of time to work with. 2 minutes, 52 seconds. And they're about 81 yards away. We'll call it the 19-yard line for Steve Althouse and the Elks. McClernand and Trapp in the backfield. Here's Althouse. He's going to roll out to the far sideline. And Althouse is going to run it. He's across the 20 to across the 25. And we'll see where they spot him out of bounds. I don't think he's quite going to have the first down.
Good play that time as Steve Althouse looked like he might have been looking initially to pass, but he made a lot out of the play as he ran. Showed good speed on that play as he ran past the Milton defenders.
And call it 2nd down and about 1 yard to go. Spot the ball at about. This ball gets away from the officials. Let's see where they're going to spot that. Call it the 29-yard line of Elkhorn. Althouse the quarterback. 2nd down, short yardage to go. About 1 yard to go. Althouse on the give. McClernand, and McClernand gets across the 30, and McClernand gets the first down for Elkhorn.
Elkhorn, a good first down that time, doing some simple power running right up the middle. Didn't have that far to go, and they got to keep this drive alive. They've got to put some points on the board for that defense that's been doing so well.
One thing that is helping the Elks in high school and college play, after a first down, the clock stops. Call it the 33-yard line for Elkhorn. 1st and 10, Steve Althouse the quarterback. Good drive last time by the Elks, but it stalled. The field goal no good. And here's Althouse keeping the ball. He's going to turn it upfield across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Is about 3 or 4 of the Milton defenders converged on Steve Althouse. Not a lot of room from that time.
Althouse that time getting about 3 or 4 yards on the play as he faked a handoff to Trapp and then ran off tackle up the middle.
2nd down, called 7 yards to go. Spot the ball at the Elkhorn 36-yard line. Clock is running. Under 2 minutes now to play in the first half. No score from Elkhorn. Althouse with the pitch to McClernand. McClernand wants to pass. He gets the ball away. And it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Barron, incomplete. Number 8. Campion on the play. Broke it up, and it's going to bring up 3rd down now for Elkhorn.
Nice play that time by Jack Barron as he almost caught that ball. He's showing a good receiving skills in this game so far. McClernand underthrew that ball a little bit.
3rd down now, 7 yards to go for Elkhorn. The clock stopped on that play, 1:46 to play. Elkhorn would like to keep this drive alive. Not give Milton back the ball. Steve Althouse facing a 3rd down for Elkhorn. Trapp and McClernand in the backfield. Here's Althouse. Handoff to Barron. Barron gets out across to the 40-yard line. He's going to be short by 2 or 3 yards on the 1st down.
Elkhorn running that tackle trap. And Milton's going to call a timeout. And it looks like Elkhorn will now punt the ball.
Platts and Campion back deep to receive Larry Reese's punt. Line of scrimmage about the 40. Larry Reese will be punting from about the 27-yard line. About 1.5 minutes to play in the first half. Reese gets the kick away. And Milton's just going to let it hit. It's going to take a Elkhorn roll. And they're going to spot the ball at about the 33-yard line. That's where Milton's going to start. 1st and 10. They have 1 minute, 26 seconds to go. Not real bad field position, but not the best either.
Not much time for Milton to do anything. I'm interested to see, though, if they do try a big play or something. That's Milton's reputation so far this season, that big play offense, so we'll see what they do.
1 minute 20 clock running for Milton. Schlem the quarterback. Greg and Rod Kuderna in the backfield. Here's Schlem back to pass. And he's going to get the short pass complete to Rod Kuderna. He's across the 40. And to the 45 to the 46-yard line. He's brought down by number 82, Kelly Truesdale on the play. We have a timeout called by Milton, but it's going to be a first down for Milton.
Good play that time by Milton as they let the defensive line come in for Elkhorn, dumped it off to the back, and he had a big hole because the linebackers had already pursued too far.
All right, we have 1 minute, 3 seconds to play here. Milton now across the 45, we'll call it their own 46-yard line. Still have to go about 54 yards for a score. No score yet. Getting near the halftime in Elkhorn's homecoming game. Milton now has used 2 timeouts. Schlem, the quarterback. Campion to the near side. And Schlem's going to keep it. He fumbled it, and Elkhorn's going to recover the ball. 2 or 3 of Elkhorn's players there. Trying to pick up the number. That looks like number 36. Ken Trapp comes up with it. Elkhorn now with excellent field position at the Milton 47-yard line. We have 58 seconds to play. Elkhorn still might have a chance to take a lead before we go into the locker room at the half.
Elkhorn not having much time to work with here, but maybe they can try something big, or maybe they'll just let the clock run out and be satisfied with a tie.
Althaus, the quarterback. He's got 2 receivers flanked to the far side of the field. Althaus back to pass. And Althaus is going to get the pass away. It's going to be intercepted as we trade turnovers intended for Barron. Barron pulls his man down, but Milton's going to get the ball back. Trying to pick up the number. That's number 8, Campion. Dennis Campion comes up the interception. Milton's going to get the ball back inside their 20. We'll wait and see where they spot the ball. Looks like just about the 15-yard line.
Steve Althaus, the quarterback that time, underthrew the ball a little bit. Barron could not come back to the ball that time. As a result, it was picked off.
Milton now will have to wait and see what they're going to try to do. 34 seconds, clock running. See if they content to go into the locker room with a 0-0 tie, or if they're going to try to get something on the board. So give to Kuderna, and he's going to get out to about the 23-yard line. It's going to be just short of the first down. Call it the 23, second down and 2 for Milton.
Milton that time just running a safe run that play. Elkhorn backing up their line a little bit, sending their defensive backs way back. So looks like Milton's going to be content to go into the halftime with a tie ball game. Elkhorn very much in this game.
Elkhorn's defense has been the key so far as they've kept Elkhorn in the game. Not a lot from the offense. One good sustained drive. Milton had a...
Representing the sophomore class is Chris Truesdale. Representing the junior class is Patty Yankee. The senior class has 2 representatives. They are Donna Boucher and Karen Brown. Now meet our queen for the homecoming 1983, Miss Katie Godfrey. To present Miss Godfrey with the traditional roses is our 1982 royalty, King Rick Neudorf and Queen Elizabeth Hoffman.
You done? Yeah. And the rest of the night? Yep. This is good. I mean, oh. Let's go. Here. You got a flutter right here.
Welcome back to the second half after some halftime highlights here. Halftime program coming from Elkhorn High School. We have 12 minutes left to play, or 12 minutes to play here in the third period. Another 12 in the fourth. No score. Both teams lacking a little bit on offense. Elkhorn had one good drive, got down to the 5-yard line. A missed field goal, though, by Tim Lindemann, and that ended the Elks drive for Milton. Their deepest penetration, the Elkhorn 11-yard line, though. Some penalties, though, especially a holding penalty hurt them. They lost the ball on downs to Elkhorn. Right now we're at 0-0. Looking at turnovers, Elkhorn has turned the ball over 4 times, 1 fumble loss, 3 interceptions by Steve Althouse in the first half. Milton with just 1 fumble turning it over to Elkhorn. Kicking off number 32, Rod Wilson, and set to call the play here for the second half here is Randy Larson.
Okay, Barron and McClernand deep to receive Milton's kick here. McClernand, they're down in a position, if they do get a 4th down, they'll probably go for it. Here's a handoff to McClernand. He's going to run around outside. He's got the first down, and he's still on his feet, and he's down to about the Milton 24-yard line.
Good running once again by Chris McClernand on the stop. Dennis Campion and Rick Calhoun. McClernand doing it mostly for the Elks here, as 3 of their last 4 plays, McClernand has picked up pretty good yardage.
So it'll be 1st down and 10. Ball spotted at about the 27-yard line. Elkhorn, a good offensive surge, is second of the game. See if they can put it in the end zone this time, though. Here's Althouse, the handoff to again McClernand. No hole inside, he goes outside, and Storbakken fights him down, and McClernand, I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a few yards.
McClernand that time did most of it on his own. Storbakken finally brought him down to pick up a 4 or 5 on the play. Good running by Chris McClernand once again.
Run was deceiving that time. Looked like he got no yards at all, but he did get 5. So Elkhorn, good yardage on 1st down, an important factor. Can't leave it with those 3rd down and long plays or the turnovers mount up. Trapping McClernand in the backfield. Here's the fake handoff. That's a handoff to McClernand. He's going to go outside again, and he gets about 3 yards.
McClernand that time doing it once again all on his own. That time he found no hole on the inside, went to the outside, and picked up a couple yards on the play.
So it's going to be 3rd down and about 3 yards to go for Elkhorn.
Rick Calhoun.
Calhoun in on the tackle. 9:38 left in the 3rd quarter. We're at a deadlock 0-0 tie here. Both teams fighting, playing good defense. Milton giving up a few more big plays to Elkhorn, but Elkhorn just has not been able to put any points on the board. Here's Althouse, and he's going to keep it, and he's got a blocker out in front. He's going to run around, and he's going to be about down to about the 21-yard line, and he got the 1st down. So Elkhorn keeping this drive alive.
The thing that made the play that time for Elkhorn was a fake to Jack Barron on not really a reverse, but an inside handoff that had part of the Milton defensive line going after Jack Barron. Althouse then found plenty of running room. He got around the corner, got the 1st down at the 13.
So it is the 13-yard line. The yard marker is a little hard to pick up. So Elkhorn down, just knocking on the door again. Althouse in a quarterback, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle of Trapp, and he's going to go for about 4 or 5 yards. Nice gain that time by Trapp. He'll be on about the 8-yard line.
Trapp straight ahead running. Jim Cumley in on the stop, but it's a pickup of almost 5 yards for Elkhorn. They're really doing it, and they're doing it all on the ground now.
So a draw play that time ran by Elkhorn. Surprising call. First time that play has worked all night effectively. Been running a lot of those plays to McClernand. So they have 3 runners in the backfield this time. And it's McClernand up the middle, and he's going to be right down by that goal line. Very close.
McClernand inside the 5-yard line, number 53, Doug Doer on the stop. And Elkhorn showing they can move that ball against the Milton defense, doing most of it on the ground here. And not sure if they're going to give Elkhorn the 1st down or not. They're going to bring the chains out, and they're going to measure for the 1st down.
So Elkhorn moving very close. So, now then. So while they take a measurement, we'll take a little break here, and we'll be back in a moment. So it was a 1st down for Elkhorn that time, so they'll have 1st and goal. Elkhorn on an important offensive surge, very impressive play here early in the 2nd half.
Elkhorn started this drive back in their own territory. Some good running by Chris McClernand. They've gotten inside the 5-yard line, close to a touchdown.
So let's see if Elkhorn can put it in here for the first time tonight. Here's a handoff to McClernand, and he's going to be short of the goal line. Like there's a scramble down there. Pile of ball players down there. McClernand might have lost yardage. It didn't look, it depends where they spot the ball. He's going to be possibly about 2 yards short of the goal line.
McLernan, they gave him about a yard on the play. That's where they marked his forward progress. He was pushed back and bring up second down now and goal to go for Elkhorn.
Elkhorn might try something to the outside here. They got Barron split out wide to the right, trapping McLernan in the backfield. Here's Altos on the keeper, and Altos, he's going to be short of the goal line, it looks like. Elkhorn player indicating they're about foot short, so it's going to be third down and goal.
Altos that time, he could have pitched to McLernan, but he decided early that he was going to keep the ball. He tried to turn it up, and he got a little bit closer to the touchdown, but not quite into the end zone.
Elkhorn on a big play. It's important they get in here and get the lead against a tough Milton team. Be a big upset if they could beat these guys. Here's Altos on the keeper up the middle. Touchdown, Elkhorn! Elkhorn grabbing the lead for the first time since the East Troy game. And you can see the Elkhorn players showing their jubilation out on the field.
Altos that time just took it straight up the middle that time. Nothing to the outside, just right up the middle. Hole was big enough for Steve to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Elkhorn ahead 6-0 now.
Important now that Elkhorn stays there with what they've got on defense and keeping Milton down. They've got a tough Milton team down. They're disappointed. You can see, let's keep them down. It's important they keep that spirit down for Milton. Can't let them have any breaks. Here's Linderman. He's going to kick the extra point. And there's a set, and it's up, and it looks like it's going to be right through the middle. Excellent kick that time by Tim Linderman. So Elkhorn at the 6:49 point in the third quarter, grabbing the lead against Milton, 7-0, and we'll be back in a moment. Elkhorn set to kick off. It's going to be 57, Mike Sachs kicking off. Platts and Campion back deep to receive the kick. Very important Elkhorn doesn't fall into a sleep here. And
receive the kick, number 8, Dennis Campion, and number 24, Mike Platt.
Right on their joy of that last touchdown. Keep the pressure on Milton.
Elkhorn's defense kept them in the game in the first half. The offense didn't do a lot, and hopefully the defense can come out and hold Milton again in the second half.
And that kick's going to go out of bounds, so Elkhorn's going to have to kick it 5 yards deeper this time. Milton player a little indecision, probably did the smart thing by letting the ball go out of bounds. And he can't quite pick up.
It was out of bounds in high school ball. When the ball does go out of bounds, they place the ball at the 40-yard line. That's where Milton will start 1st and 10.
Okay, so Milton starting an offense this time, an important drive for them as they must score against this tough Elkhorn defense tonight. And it's going to be 30 with a ball carry, and he's going to go for about 7 or 8 yards on the carry.
Big hole that time for Rod Kuderna, straight up the middle, and he picked up about 7 yards on the play. Call it 2nd down and 3.
So Elkhorn not playing real well on that first play. Kuderna running off tackle for about 7 yards. Schlamm at quarterback, and he's going to hand off to Kuderna again. That time a good play by number 64, Tim Voss for Elkhorn.
Kuderna that time is going to be short of the first down, 3rd down, and once again the Elkhorn defense rising to the occasion.
So we'll call it about 3rd down and 2 yards to go for Milton. Elkhorn's defense holding that powerful Milton offense all night, playing to the homecoming spirit. Here's the handoff to Kuderna, and then they're going to stop him. He might be a little short of, he looks like he's a little short of the first down, maybe a foot and a half, depends where they mark it.
It's going to be really close. I think we're going to get a measurement. We'll have to wait and see. Nope, they're not even going to measure from looking across the field where the ball is placed and where the down marker is. He is short by about half a yard.
4th down, less than a yard for Milton. Elkhorn piling up the men on the line. And it's going to be a handoff to Kuderna, and it's going to be a 1st down for Milton.
1st down now this time for Milton as they get the ball across the 50-yard line. We have a new running back in there. Before we had number 33, Greg Kuderna, in there with Rod Kuderna. Now we have number 20, Scott Sennett in the game in the backfield.
So Milton starting out with a 1st down on their first drive of the second half. Schlamm at quarterback, setting up in the I formation. And here's Schlemm, he's going to be back to pass. And it's going to be, I believe they're going to call it an interception by Elkhorn. So a fine play that time. I believe it was number 58, Dave Longhorn, picking that one off the ground. So Elkhorn stopping the Milton offense again. They'll have the ball.
Okay, Elkhorn didn't stop him on the 4th down play. They got the 1st down, but the very next play, Larry Reese, they say, came up with that ball, diving for it, got the stop. The pass intended for Platts, but Larry Reese picks up the interception, Elkhorn's ball.
So Trapp and McClernand in the backfield. 1st and 10 for Elkhorn. Here's the handoff to McClernand. McClernand the outside, and he's going to go. We got a flag down on the play. McClernand's going to get about 4 yards. It looks like it's going to be holding. Going to back up Elkhorn 15 more yards.
That penalty flag thrown in the area where it usually is holding. We'll have to wait and see what the official calls, but if it is, that's going to back the Elks up way back. They're right now right around the 40-yard line, about the 38 or 39-yard line. That's going to put them back 15 yards.
That's the first mistake Elkhorn has made in a long while. Playing well so far in this second half. Leading 7-0 with 4:42 left in the 3rd quarter. Referee talking it over with the Milton captain.
I believe there's 2 penalties, so and one of them looked like it was clipping. I didn't pick up what the other one was as they were facing the far side of the field. We'll wait and see how many yards they're going to march off against Elkhorn. If they take the clipping on, it looks like that one would be the 15 yards, and that would really push Elkhorn back.
I would assume they would take the clipping. I did not see that second flag, but it is down there. So they're going to mark the ball off. Elkhorn backing up to about their 20-yard line, so they're going to have a long ways to go for the 1st down. And they're going to spot the ball at about the 24-yard line. So Elkhorn will have it. 2nd down. Excuse me, 1st down. And a lot of yards to go. 25 to be exact. Here's Altos. Altos going to keep it. And he's got to put that ball away. He's going to break it. And Altos, he may go. And he's going to be dragged down by number 24 for Milton. That's going to be Mike Platts. But Altos going for the 1st down. Long gain. He ran for about 35 yards that time.
Altos stepped up that time, made the commitment to go upfield, found a big hole, a lot of running space, picked up a lot of yardage before Mike Platts pulled him down.
So the Mighty Elks driving again. A good play by Altos that time as he ran past, showing his good speed. Elkhorn setting up in the eye, sending Barron out wide to the right. Trapping McClernand in the backfield. Here's the handoff, and Elkhorn took too much time that time. So that's going to back him up 5 yards.
Illegal procedure. They called motion on someone in the offensive line. That's going to cost the Elks 5 yards. There's a 36-yard run by Steve Altos on the previous play.
So my mistake, it was motion on Elkhorn. So Elkhorn, their 2nd penalty the 2nd half. But it doesn't overshadow that long run by Steve Altos that time. He's been showing a lot of emotion this game. All the team is really fired up for this homecoming game. So it's going to be 1st down and 15 yards to go for Elkhorn. Calling about the 49-yard line of the Elks. Here's the handoff. And Altos going to run about the same play. He pitches to McClernand, and McClernand's going to be brought down by a group of Milton defenders. So McClernand lost about 2 yards on the play.
That time Milton was ready. Altos keeping on the fake, kept the ball, pitched it out, and Milton was right there to stop Chris McClernand, give him a loss of 1 on the play. 2nd down, 16 to go.
So Elkhorn may have to go to the pass here. Haven't been really effective on the pass. They seem to run that play where Altos rolls out and looks for a player downfield to give him more time. But it hasn't worked so far tonight, so we'll see what they do. They line up in the eye. Barron split back to the left. Here's Altos, and it's going to be back to pass, and he falls down. A tough break for Elkhorn that time.
That time Steve's feet just went out from under him about the Elkhorn 48 or 49-yard line. They lost about 5 more on the play. They have to get down just about to the 30-yard line of Milton, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 22 yards to go for Elkhorn.
Tough break for the Elks that time as Steve Altos setting up the pass just lost his footing. They may want to run something safe here, possibly a draw play up the middle, try to catch the Milton defense off key. Milton's going to be looking for that pass. It's going to be tough to get the 1st down. Trapping McClernand in the backfield. Barron goes wide out to left. And Alto's going to do the same play. And Alto's going to get a lot of yards. Looks like there might have been a fumble on that play.
Alto's the ball carrier, stopped by number 75.
To wait and see who they give the ball to. Now they're going to give the ball to Elkhorn.
About 6 yards on the play that time for Steve Altos. He just stepped up, headed upfield. He got about 6 yards, not nearly enough for a first down, and Elkhorn's going to have to give the ball back to Milton.
It's all a good save play they ran by Steve Altos that time. Larry Reese will be back deep to receive, or excuse me, deep to punt. And here's the punt. And it's going to be a nice high punt. And it's going to take a nice Elkhorn bounce. And Elkhorn not getting on the ball right away. Down by Mike Sachs at about the 22-yard line.
Good punt that time by Larry Reese. No return at all by Milton. Several Elkhorn players getting down there in time to down the ball. Milton will take over at about their, let's see where they spot it, maybe the 24-yard line is where they say Elkhorn down that ball. 1st and 10.
So Milton starting out with fair field position this time. Elkhorn's defense been clamping down well all night, so it's going to be tough for them to move the ball this far. Schlemmen at quarterback. Running the T offense now. Here's Schlem with a handoff, and couldn't quite pick up the number there. And it's Kudera on the ball carry for about 5 or 6 yards.
Straight ahead running by Milton. They've showed they could do it before. They do it now. Pickup of about 6 or 7 yards on the play for Rod Kuderna.
So Elkhorn playing well on defense all night, holding Milton to only 4 first downs. Milton will be faced with a 2nd down and 6. Here's Schlem in at quarterback. He's back to pass. Schlem passes, and it's going to be picked off. And 82, Kelly Truesdale is going to pick it off, and he's going to be brought down at about, I believe, about the 35-yard line. So Elkhorn intercepting another, they're going to call it the 36, intercepting another pass, and they have the ball deep in Milton territory.
Second turnover of this half for Milton. They're playing Elkhorn's game now. Elkhorn turned the ball over 4 times in the first half. Milton only once, but 2 turnovers here. Elkhorn now, excellent chance if they can get the ball into the end zone.
29 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 for Elkhorn. Here's Altos, and he's back to pass, and he's got it's going to be picked off by Milton again. Elkhorn again running that play where they shouldn't pass the ball. He was double teamed that time, and Altos threw it right into the arms of the Milton defender.
Storbach, and on the interception, just stepped in front of Larry Reese. They had double coverage on him. Altos throwing into a lot of people there. Milton gets the ball right back. They lose yardage on the play down at about the 13-yard line. Before they were out close to the 30 or so. But they get the ball back. 1st and 10, they get to go again on offense.
So Elkhorn struggling tonight on offense. They got that touchdown, but they've had many more opportunities. Schlem back to pass, and he lobs it over. It's going to be complete, and a nice hit that time by the Elkhorn defender. I believe it was complete. I couldn't quite pick up the number.
Trying to figure out who that was on the reception out there, but it's going to be about 6 or 7 yards on the play for Milton.
Receiver Scott Sennett.
And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. So at the end of 3 quarters, Elkhorn leading the Milton Redmen 7-0. Okay, so Milton starting out deep in their own territory again after the Elkhorn interception. Excuse me, their own interception. And here's Schlem. He's back to pass, and he's got another man open. Hey, on a fumble that time, and the ball's going to be incomplete. Called incomplete. He never had control.
Rod Kuderna that time, incomplete, they say. He didn't have possession. He would have been short of the first down anyways for Milton.
So it's going to be 3rd down and about 4 yards to go for Milton. Campion coming into the game with the play to Schlem. Elkhorn's defense playing good all night, holding again. They can hold him back here, force the punt, and get pretty good field position. They may have an excellent chance at scoring. Milton setting up in the eye. Here's Schlem, and he's back to pass again. And he has nobody open. And there's a flag down. The play is going to be complete. It's going to be called back, though. It's going to be clipping, so this will back up the Milton Redmen 15 yards as a player hit number 74, Rusty Brown, from behind.
Dennis Campion upset that time. Good reception. He caught the ball, pushed out of bounds at the 45, but the penalty will go against Milton. They'll call the play back.
Penalty that time done right in front of the referee. About the worst spot you can pick to push a player from behind. Tough break for Milton that time as they had the first deep pass of the game. Captain Larry Reese talking over the referee. Referee giving him his options. Obviously, Elkhorn will take the penalty. That'll back up Milton 15 yards. So, Elkhorn got a lot of room to work with. It's going to be tough for Milton to get this first down. If Elkhorn could hold them here, they really would come out with it with good field position unless their punter really gets off a boomer. And they're going to back it up to about the 12-yard line. So Elkhorn holding Milton deep. Third down. Big yardage to go here for Milton. Last two times they've passed, so let's see if they try to mix in a run. And here's Schlem. And they are going to run it. And they're going to run a little delayed trap play up the middle. It didn't go. It went for about 2 yards, and Milton's going to have to punt.
Rod Coonerno, the ball carrier, he got very little on the play, maybe about 2 or 3 yards on the play. Bring up fourth down, 10 yards to go, and Milton's going to have to kick that ball back to the Elks.
So Elkhorn getting another shot at that ball. 11-19 left to go in this ball game. Elkhorn leading 7-0. It's going to be McClernand, Barron, and I believe Larry Reese deep to receive the punt. Here's a high snap and a high punt. This time Elkhorn's just going to let this one drop. And it's going to take an Elkhorn bounce. And Milton's going to down it at about the 36-yard line. So Elkhorn coming out of this with excellent field position again.
Elkhorn, once again, excellent field position. Let's hope the offense this time won't turn the ball over. 5 turnovers for Elkhorn, 3 for Milton. Elks being plagued the last couple of weeks by turnovers and penalties. So far tonight, they've played fairly well. Like I said, 5 turnovers. You can't call that a good game, but they've played better than Milton.
Good point, Brian. Neither Milton doesn't seem to be playing up to their capabilities tonight. Either that or Elkhorn's having the game of their life. Here's Altos on the keeper, and Altos is going to go for the first down, I believe. Good play by Steve Altos that time. Good fake.
Good fake that time by Altos. He faked to McClernand. McClernand into the line. That's who the Milton defenders chased. Altos, though, ran around the end, and he got very close to the first down.
Now they're going to have an official timeout, and they're going to measure it. So while they're taking measurement, we'll take a little break. We'll be back in a moment. Oh, it was a first down for Elkhorn. Elkhorn driving deep into Milton territory. Here's Altos on the pitch, and we got a flag down immediately. McClernand running outside. It could be motion by Elkhorn. Waiting to see.
McClernand inside the 30 that time. A good pickup. We'll have to wait and see what the penalty is going to be, who it's going to go against.
And it's going to be a legal procedure against Elkhorn, so that's going to back him up 5 yards. Elkhorn having some problems on the backs. They've been starting a little bit early, jumping on the ball there. Something they've had to deal with all year. So it's going to back them up 5 yards. So it's going to be first down and 15 when the referees get the ball all set. And the referee puts the ball down. So Elkhorn not really hurt too bad by that penalty, but you don't want to get into a rut with those. Like to play mistake-free ball. They would like to put the ball into the end zone, get a little cushion off Milton. Milton's a better ball team than this. They can come back and strike very quickly. Here's Altos running out of the eye with trapping McClernand, and it's going to be Altos on the keeper, and he's going to be tripped up. A good play that time by number 53 for Milton. And 53, I believe that's Doug Dower. Altos picking up about 3 yards on the play.
Looked like a big hole for Steve Altos. That's why he didn't option the ball that time. But Doug Doerr on the stop moved in and got Altos. Altos gained a few yards on the play, but not very much.
So we'll call it about 2nd and 13 on the play. Or excuse me, for the play. 9:29 left in the fourth quarter. Altos in a quarterback. McClernand and Trapp in the backfield. Here's Altos back to pass, and that little dump over the middle, that's going to be complete to number 26, Larry Reese, and I don't believe he got much of a gain. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, if any.
A yard, maybe two on the play. Altos backed way up that time, right off the start, to keep that pressure off him. He was being pressured. He got the ball away to Larry Reese, and maybe a yard or two on the play, not much more. Third down and long yardage for Elkhorn.
Little screen pass that time. Milton not fooled by the play. They had their linebackers covering the backs for Elkhorn well. Now they send Barron out to the left. McClernand and Trapp in the backfield, running out of the eye. Here's Altos, and the pitch to McClernand. And McClernand's going to run, and a nice run that time by McClernand. He's going to be brought down to about the 26-yard line.
McClernand that time, excellent running. He had a couple blockers out in front of him, got around the corner, not quite enough for the first down. It's bring up fourth down for Elkhorn now, and still about 6 yards to go for the Elks.
Looks like the Elks.
Fourth down, 6.
It's going to be fourth down and 6. I can't pick up if Altos is still in there, so they will go for it. He can really afford to gamble with a 7-0 lead here, so it's good play called by Elkhorn that time. 4th and 6. Let's see if they can make it. Here's Altos, and he's going to run that same play. He pitches out to McClernand, and McClernand's going to be brought down way short of the first down.
Well, that time Altos couldn't have made the first down. He pitched to McClernand at the last possible moment. Chris McClernand couldn't get around the corner either, and Milton comes up with the ball and the first down.
Not really a bad try by Elkhorn that time, as it was as good as anything else they could have ran. They've still got Milton deep in their own territory, so it didn't really hurt the Elks that much. Elks still have to watch out for the big play.
The only thing that bothers you is if the Elks could have hit a field goal from there, they would have had a 10-point lead. Milton would have had to score twice. Now they only have to score once to tie.
So Milton setting up in the eye. Here's Schlem back to pass. And it's going to be complete to number 8, Campion. And Campion's hit a couple times, and he broke a couple of tackles, and I believe he got the first down.
Number 64, Tim Voss in there on the stop. Also Jack Barron. Campion broke one tackle. He almost broke the second one. Not quite, though. But he got enough for a first down for Milton. And player injured on the field. I believe it might be Campion. I'm trying to find a number 8. Don't see anyone, and that was the area where Campion was.
So while they're attending the injured player on the field, we'll take a little break. We'll be back in a moment. So Campion, it was Campion down injured. He's coming off under his own power. He's had the wind taken out of him. Be 1st and 10 for Milton. At about the 36-yard line. Running out of the eye. Here's Schlem. He's back to pass. A little short pass complete to 24. And he breaks a couple of tackles getting up near that first down again. The receiver on that play was Platts.
Mike Platts. And he got very close to another first down. The Milton receiver is doing a good job of breaking that first tackle, getting a few extra yards. And they called a 9-yard pickup, 2nd down and 1 at about the Elkhorn 45-yard line.
So that seems to be Milton's strategy. Throw those little short dump passes in front of the linebackers. Campion is back in the game, so he wasn't injured seriously. Here's Schlem back to pass again. He's got a man open. It's going to be Campion, and he's hit hard at about the 50-yard line.
David Longhorn in on the stop, but not before Campion caught the pass at the 50. Across the 50, called to about the 49-yard line, and it's going to be a first down for Milton.
So Milton putting their best drive together in the second half. Let's see what they run here. Last 4 plays have been passes, so running out of the tee this time. And here's Schlem with a handoff, and it's going to be Kudera, and it's a fumble, and it's going to be Elkhorn's ball. So the Mighty Elks have come up with a ball again.
Trying to see who comes out of there with the ball for Elkhorn, and I believe, did I just see a penalty flag go down? I'm not sure. Number 64, Tim Voss, I believe, recovered the ball, and Elkhorn will get the ball 1st and 10 there.
And there was a penalty flag down on the play. Didn't quite see what the referee's signal was.
Looks like maybe they're marking off 15 yards. Must be a personal foul of some sort. You know, if somebody on Milton team said something they shouldn't have or whatever, that's going to give Elkhorn 15 yards down to the Milton 40-yard line. Excellent field position for Elkhorn.
So Elkhorn, for the second time in their 2 drives, down at the end of this field. Excellent field position, starting out at 1st and 10 at the 40. 3 backs in the backfield, Barron, Trapp, and McClernand. Here's Altos. Altos hands the last back, McClernand, and there's a flag down on the play, so Alcorn may have holding on the play.
For 74, Roger Fanning in on the stop. Big hole for McClernand, but it closed up quick that time. Also in on the stop, number 81, Greg Sessler.
And it's going to be, I believe, illegal procedure, so that's going to back up 5 yards. First down and 15, 6:10 left in the game. And the penalty is going to be declined, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Alcorn.
Penalty declined, making it 2nd down, 10.
2nd down and 10, about the 39-yard line for Alcorn. Altos, quarterback. Running in the eye with McClernand and Trapp. Here's a handoff to McClernand, off tackle. And McClernand's going to run ahead for about 3 yards.
Greg Sessler on the stop. Once again, McClernand going straight ahead. Not too much yardage on the last 2 plays, maybe 3 yards between the 2 plays. Call it 3rd down, about 7 or 8 yards to go for Alcorn.
So Alcorn, looks like they're going to have to go to the pass this time. Got to be careful of that sack. Might try a little short dump-off pass, a little screen. See what they call. Going to be Trapp and McClernand in the backfield. Altos a quarterback. Barron split out wide to the right. Here's the handoff to McClernand, and he's going to be tackled way short of the 1st down again.
The person who made that play that time, number 26, John McCoy, almost tripped up McClernand. He held him up long enough so that the other players could get over there. Number 53, Doug Doerr, in on the stop. Let's bring up 4th down. Elkhorn really would have liked to run out a lot of time off that clock, get a few first downs if they didn't get into score. Instead, they picked up 3 or 4 yards at the most on that drive after the penalty, and they're going to have to kick the ball back to Milton. One thing, though, they may have a chance to pin Milton deep in their own territory.
It's going to take a good punt this time by Larry Reese. He might try to angle it over towards the sidelines out of bounds. They've kept Milton deep in their own territory. The 3 drives that 3 times that Milton's had the ball. So let's see what Reese does on this kick. They might try the fake down here. Alcorn a little disorganized on their formation at the punt, and there's going to be a penalty called. Delay of game on Alcorn. So they're going to run it down to 5:18 left in the game. That's going to back up the Mighty Elks 5 yards.
Delay of game called on Alcorn.
Alcorn that time taking too much time getting set up for that punt. They have to kick it from 5 yards back. That might help the Elks, it might not, depending on how the wind is. The wind actually a little bit blowing across field, but also towards the Milton end of the field. So if Larry Reese can hang one up there, the Elks might be able to down it deep in Milton territory.
Here's the snap and the kick. Almost, it wasn't too good of a kick. And it's going to be out of bounds. Oh, it didn't turn out to be that bad of a kick. Out of bounds at about the 15-yard line.
Okay, Elkhorn will have to see the defense out on the field once again. They've held Milton scoreless so far through over 3.5 quarters of play. Defense really has played exceptional tonight, and let's hope they can keep that up.
Alcorn's got to watch for the big play. Milton running short on time. They're going to have to run something that could go for big yardage. With 5:10 left in the 4th quarter. Schlemm at quarterback. Champion in the end. And here's Schlemm back to pass. And he's got a man open. He's going to throw it way up in the air. And it's almost picked off. Nice play that time by number 20, Jack Barron. The pass was intended for number 8, Campion.
Intended for Campion. If Campion would have caught that, he would have been all the way. Jack Barron, though, stepped in front of him, knocked the ball away. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
So Alcorn holding on that play. That seems to be the type of play they like to send that wide receiver streaking down the sidelines, trying to get the big play. It's only worked once tonight for Milton. That was in the 1st half. Let's see what they run here. They're running short on time to start running the ball on the ground. They're keeping up pretty much up in the air, and there's a pass, and it's going to be complete. A nice catch that time by number 81 that time for Milton was Greg Sessler.
Greg Sessler, and let's see where they're going to spot that ball at about the 28-yard line. 1st and 10. Milton picks up a 1st down.
So Milton keeping with their strategy of the little short passes. Their drive was thwarted last time by a fumble, and Alcorn recovered. Running the tee this time. Here's Schlemm, the quarterback. He's back to pass again. And there's a flag down on the play. Might be holding. And the pass was complete to Kudera. 64, Tim Voss on the tackle. And it's going to be holding against Milton.
Well, they didn't gain that much yardage, but putting him back 15 is really going to hurt. And we have someone injured on the play. It looks like number 57, I believe, for Elkhorn. That's Mike Sachs, as we get some people over there to work on him.
Looks like he might have a cramp. Sachs looking like he's in a lot of pain. So while they're tending to the injured player, we'll be back in a moment. So we're back here. Mike Sachs limping off the field. Might have had a hamstring on that play. It'd be a tough loss for Elkhorn if they lost Sachs. He's played excellent on both sides of the field for Elkhorn, offense and defense, playing center and inside linebacker. So Elkhorn, now the big drive on defense here. Samuelson will take Sachs' place.
14 yards, half the distance on the penalties, puts the ball at the 14-yard line. First down, 24 yards for Milton.
Here's Schleem, and going to be the flea flicker, and Schleem's he's going to throw a bomb, and it's going to be incomplete. The pass was intended for number 82, Calhoun.
Time a lot of handoffs and laterals in the backfield. Schlem came up with the ball. He intended it for Calhoun, just overthrown him a little bit, cutting back towards the middle of the field. He dove, but he couldn't come up with it. Incomplete, second down now and 24.
So Milton getting caught in that rut of having second down long, third down and long. It's hurt them all night. Elkhorn's defense not allowing that big play that Milton's been famous for this year. 4:22 left in the fourth quarter. Elkhorn leading 7-0. Schlem at quarterback. Running out of the eye this time. Here's Schlem, and it's going to be the handoff to Campion. He's going to run that play, and Rusty Brown in on him. He's got a lot of pressure, and he's got nobody open, and he almost had a completed pass. A nice try that time by number 82, I believe it was, Calhoun again.
Campion, once again, they're trying the flea flicker back there. The handoff to Campion. Campion has passed before. He can. Pass was a little bit short to Calhoun. Incomplete. Third down now and long for Milton.
So Milton trying everything in the book this time. A lot of trickery on this drive. Almost pulled that off. Campion had a lot of time to throw. 74 Rusty Brown almost got him, but couldn't quite catch up with him. So Schlem, let's see what he can do. Or Milton running short on time. Here's Schlem, and it looks like it's going to be a screen pass. Look out for the second pass here. And nobody's open. He just throws it up for grabs. It might be picked off, and it was just about picked off. Number 26, Larry Reese, almost had that ball.
That time, Schlem made sure when he threw the pass it was backwards, so it's actually not a forward pass. The receiver can pass it again. He did, intended it for Sessler, but the pass went incomplete, almost picked off by Elkhorn. Fourth down now for Milton.
So Milton looks like they're going to set up for a punt. 3:56 left in the fourth quarter. Elkhorn looking in good shape here. Again, they will get good field position out of this. Got to watch the fake here. See if Elkhorn can put the ball in the end zone on this drive when they get the ball. 82 Calhoun will do the punting. Barron and Reese will be back to receive the punt, and it's another good punt. Elkhorn's just going to let it drop, and it's going to take a Milton bounce, and it's going to roll to about the 49-yard line.
So the 49-yard line, no attempt for a return that time by Elkhorn as they just watch the ball bounce and roll. The 49-yard line, not a lot of time left. Elkhorn hopefully can get some running plays together, run out that clock, and hold on to the ball for a win.
Of Elkhorn's last three possessions, this unbelievably is their worst field position. They've had the ball inside the 50-yard line and right around the 30-yard line the last couple of times. So let's see if Elkhorn can put it in for the clinching score. They got Barron, Trapp, and McClernand in the backfield. Here's Altos, and he's going to roll out to the left, and he's going to be handled down. Looked like number 50 on the tackle that time, Cumlin.
A penalty call that might be holding against Elkhorn. Altos lost about 2 yards on the play. Altos that time taking himself upfield. A lot of Milton defenders there. And holding called against Elkhorn declined. And I don't know if that's too smart a play. It'll bring up second down and about 11, where instead they could have first down and 25. Gives Elkhorn one less play, but they have about 14 yards further upfield than they would have been if Milton would have taken the penalty.
what I think Milton's trying to do on that is they're trying to deny Elkhorn another possession of the ball where they could run off some time. Just taking away that down for them. It can work either way. You just got to be lucky on the play. Here's Altos. And it's going to be handed off to number 34, Dave Mann. And Mann's going to go for about 2 or 3 yards.
Mann that time, not very much yardage at all. Number 60, Ed Snow on the stop. Bring up 3rd down and long yardage. And maybe Milton's ploy declining that penalty is going to pay off. We got a timeout called now by Milton.
Surprising to see Dave Mann out on the field. Didn't think he was even going to suit up for tonight's game, but he is. So while they're taking a timeout on the field, we'll be back in a moment. 3:01 left in the 4th quarter. Elkhorn 3rd down and about 11 yards to go. Mann and McClernand in the backfield. Barron split out to the left. Altos in a quarterback. And there's a fake handoff. Altos is going to run the ball, and he's going to go for about 5 or 6 yards.
Altos that time couldn't quite make it as he tried to get around the corner. Got about maybe 3 or 4 yards on the play to about the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down. Milton calling a timeout. They want that ball back. They want as much time as possible, and it looks like taking or declining the penalty, not taking the 15 yards, is paying off.
So Milton, if Elkhorn gets a good punt off this time, they will hold Milton back again for bad field position. So again, while they're talking the play over, we'll take a little break and we'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back here. Elkhorn set to punt the ball. Campion and Platts will be back deep to punt. 2:53 left in the 4th. Here's Reese, a little low snap, and he almost had a man right in him. Could have been roughing the punter that time. The ref didn't call it a high arm that time. Can't understand why the referee didn't call roughing the punter that time.
I was watching where the ball was going, not the punter. I didn't see it all, but Larry Reese ended up on the ground. No penalty called at all. Milton's going to start out from about their own 25-yard line, so they got about 75 yards to go to get the tying touchdown.
So Milton caught a break that time where the referee did not call roughing the punter. Looked maybe like the Milton player possibly could have his momentum carrying, he couldn't stop, so that's maybe what the referee assumed. So Milton running the tee. Schlem at quarterback, and it's a pass. Looks like it's going to be that same play again. And Voss almost had him. Campion. And all right, there's a nice play that time by number 84, Kirby Peterson. Campion ran a long ways that time.
If Kirby Peterson would have been there, Campion would have gained a lot of yardage. He ran a long ways. It was all horizontal, though, across the field. If Kirby Peterson wouldn't have been there, though, he could have turned it upfield on the near side and gone a long ways.
Loss of 8 on the play.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 18 for the Milton Redmen. 2:12 left in the 4th quarter. Elkhorn inching closer to that first victory. Here's Schlem. He's got to complete to Campion, and Campion's hit by a slew of Elkhorn defenders.
Campion couldn't break loose. He got back to almost the original line of scrimmage right around the 24, 25-yard line, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Milton in that hurry-up offense. Here's Schlem back to pass, and he's got a man on him, Peterson, and the ball is tipped up. Oh, Milton caught a break that time, and it's going to be complete to Campion at about the 40-yard line.
Campion that time, catching the tip pass keeps the drive alive. 1st down, the clock stops when they move the chains, so Milton having plenty of time here. The clock not running as they line up.
Problem with these quick drives here is a mistake could ruin the whole drive, and here's Schlem is going to be dragged down by number 84, Kirby Peterson. So Elkhorn, a big play that time by Kirby Peterson with 1:30 left in the 4th.
Kirby Peterson made that play. He made the play about 2 plays ago, stopping Campion as he ran across near field. Elkhorn's defense rising to the occasion.
So Milton's going to take their last timeout, and while they talk it over, we'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back here. 1:26 left in the 4th. Elkhorn leading 7-0. A hard-fought battle by these two teams. 2nd down and 18 for Milton. Elkhorn going to send a few players, looks like this time. Schlem back to pass. And he's going to throw it long up in the air. And almost completed that time to Campion. He almost had the ball. Elkhorn defenders were all over Campion, but he almost made a great catch.
Campion that time, a lot of traffic Slum threw into a lot of traffic, a lot of Elkhorn defenders there camping, though couldn't come up with it. Incomplete. Third down and about 18 or 19 to go.
So Elkhorn moving closer, third down and 18. They can hold Milton for 2 more plays. They can get the ball and run out the clock. Milton has no more timeouts left. Third down and 18. Here's Schlem, he's back to pass. Schlem's got some pressure, and under pressure, and 82 Kelly Truesday almost picked that off, and there's a flag down on the play. Might be unnecessary roughness on Milton. It looks like that's what it's going to be.
We'll have to wait and see what they call. The flag thrown right there where the ball went out of bounds. And they're bringing it back, so it looks like it will go against Milton.
So Milton's frustration on that play shown. Backing up some more yards. Campion coming out of the game. Down to 1:11 to play. Elkhorn ahead by 1 touchdown. And the referee's gonna quite set the ball down yet. And then Elkhorn is not gonna take the penalty. They're gonna decline the penalty. Coach Yankee making clear that he wants to decline that penalty.
Offensive pass interference call. Coach Yankee wants to decline it, though. That'll bring up 4th down and about 18 or 19 yards to go. Give Milton only 1 more chance for that 1st down.
So Elkhorn only 1 more play away from victory. After this, that's all they have to do. Well, they are going to take the penalty now. So that's going to be a 3rd down, and I believe they're going to back it up 15.
Coach Yankee is telling him to decline it, and instead they take the penalty. They have 4th down on the down marker. Don't know if it's loss of down or not, but let's see, they're at about 14-yard line. They have to get out to the 49. Called about 35 yards to go on 4th down.
Now 1:11 left in the 4th quarter. Slamming the quarterback. He's going to be back to pass. And they're sending everybody deep. And there's a long pass. And it's going to be picked off by Elkhorn. Number 57, Mike Sachs, gets his lateral to him, and he's going to go down. There's a flag down on the play, another flag down on the play.
So it's going to be pass interference right around the 47-yard line, 48-yard line. We'll have to wait and see who they called on the first flag, and we'll wait and see what the second flag is. Milton, number 8, Campion, says it's on Elkhorn. We'll have to wait and see. And let's see, we're waiting. I saw something showing against Elkhorn. We'll have to wait and see if the interception stands.
So they're still talking over. Pass interference that time by Elkhorn. So Milton catching a break. 56 seconds left to go in this game. Milton running out of time. So they're going to mark the penalty off against Elkhorn. All Elkhorn has to do is stay away from that tip pass. See if they can pick it off again. They've already got 2 interceptions tonight.
1st down on the 30-yard line. The 15 yards they give them, and a 1st down. They wouldn't have had enough otherwise. And Milton back in there again now with a 1st down.
So Elkhorn sending all their defensive backs way deep. Kind of preventing against that long pass. Here's Schlem. And Schlem's going to try to run. He's going to be brought down. Nice play by number 31, Dickie Marl.
Dick Morrow right there. Also there helping on the play is number 64, Tim Voss. And Schlem got nothing on the play. Milton in that hurry-up offense has to hurry to get the play off. Not a lot of time. Clock is running.
Here's Schlem back to pass here, and he's going to just throw it out of bounds to stop the clock with 33 seconds to go. Try to get an organized play in that time. So that's going to make it 3rd down.
It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now for Milton. They actually have 2 plays for the 1st down, but they don't have a lot of time left. Schlem that time just throwing the ball out of bounds purposely to stop the clock. And they have to go 70 yards now for a score.
So Milton chances does not look good. Elkhorn can taste that victory right now.
Elkhorn has a peculiar defense set up here. They have 4 people back. They're willing to give up the short pass. They'll even give up a 1st down. They just don't want to give up a touchdown right now.
So Elkhorn just seconds away from a victory, 33 to be exact. Schleman at quarterback. And he's going to go back to pass. He's going to pass, and it's going to be complete. And there's some laterals and a penalty flag down on the play. Milton player is still on his feet, and he's going to be brought down about the 45-yard line of Elkhorn, but we'll see what the penalty flag is about.
It might be a forward lateral. It looked like he was facing upfield when he threw that, and we'll have to wait and see. They tried to keep the ball alive going downfield, and it looks like it is against Milton. We'll wait and see how many yards that's going to cost them.
Elkhorn obviously will take this penalty. 18 seconds to go. Elkhorn leading 7-0.
That player wasn't thinking of that play. The best thing he could have done is fall down. They would have had the first down. The clock stopped, so they changed that down marker on the far sideline. That would have stopped the clock. Milton would have had enough for a first down, would have had time to set up for a play, but probably thinking pro rules where they don't stop the clock on the first down. And once again, Elkhorn getting 4 defensive backs way back there trying to stop the touchdown. Like I said, they'll give up the short pass, but not the long one.
So it's maybe the last play here. Here's Schleem back to pass. He's got some pressure. Now he's got a wide open field. And it's going to be complete to Dennis Champion with 3 seconds to go. And Milton is not going to have much time to get as soon as they get the yard markers going,
Pass complete to number 8, Dennis Campion.
Clock starts. So this will be the last play of the game. Let's see if Elkhorn can stop him. Got to wait for the yard markers to get the ball. And there goes the clock. And that's it. Elkhorn has won the game. So the first victory for the 1983 Mighty Elks comes against the Milton Redmen, 7-0. And here's Brian with a wrap-up.
Hey, thank you, Randy. Defense dominated the game. No scoring at all in the first half. Elkhorn got as deep as the 5-yard line. They had to settle for a field goal attempt. It was missed by Tim Lindemann. No score. Milton in the first half got down to the 11-yard line, but they were pushed back by a holding penalty, and they were also unable to score. They lost the ball on downs in the first half. Elkhorn with 4 turnovers, Milton with 1. We went into the locker room at halftime with no score. Elkhorn came out, though, took the second half kickoff, started from their own 33-yard line, marched it downfield 67 yards, taking up 5 minutes and 21 seconds on the drive. Most of it on the ground by Chris McClernand and Steve Althouse, though. Took it out from 1 yard for the touchdown with 6:49 to play in the third quarter. Lindemann made the kick. That made it 7-0.
Corn, hey, come on, Corn Cob, get that thing working.
You're on.
Brian Schmiedel and Randy Larson. We're here with Coach Yankee and all the Elks after their 7-0 win.
That tells it all, what you just heard. The kids, just tremendous enthusiasm. As I said, wait till mid-season. We should be a pretty interesting team about then, and I think this just proves it all. They played the way they can play. Great enthusiasm. A super homecoming victory for us.
Coach, the defense superb tonight. The offense got the job done, especially there at the start of the second half.
Hey, offense is for the fans, defense is for the coaches.
Okay, any other comments?
Yeah, hey, have a great homecoming, but because this is going to be one of the great ones for us.
Okay, Union Grove next week. They're a pretty tough team from the East. How do you think you'll do against them?
I won't worry about that until Monday, because I'm going to enjoy this homecoming weekend. We've worked hard for this.
I'd just like to say one thing, Coach Yankee. This is the best game I've ever seen an Elkhorn team put out. It was so emotional. You got to be proud of these guys. They're the best group of kids I've ever seen.
Well, Randy, you know, this was in a long time. It's been just a tremendously long time since we've had the kind of school spirit which was displayed by our student body and our faculty today at the pep assembly. Hey, it was so emotionally charged. I had tears in my eyes. I was so moved that people would care so much, and that's what it's all about, just caring. Randy, it was a great experience.
So until next week, hey, let's come out, do the same thing you did last week. Let's support the Elks against Union Grove.
Stay tuned for homecoming highlights.
I don't know.